And we're live. We're here. We'd made it.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically to you too, even though you're down there. You're still Canadian.
That's true. I even actually hosted a friendsgiving, like a Thanksgiving thing. That just wrapped up. But you did a whole weekend of Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, my parents live about 3.5 hours away, so I just got home literally 10 minutes ago. Like, I just walked in the door. So,
Right.
yeah,
All right.
I'm here.
Yeah, weird time because of Thanksgiving for us to do the show, but this is like the only time that worked.
As Calman says, I believe he's Australian, so he's like, this works for me. So, there you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like real tired and I'm usually going to bed right now. So this might be on the shorter side because I want to go to sleep.
Sure. Yeah, fair enough.
Tell me about your Thanksgiving. What did you guys eat? What was like the highlights?
Yeah, no, it was quite good. So Friday, the girlfriend worked, so we wait till Friday evening to go. So we went up. Yesterday, we just kind of hung out, and I felt kind of sick actually, so I kind of slept in a little bit and just took it easy for the whole day. And we had the standard ham and turkey and all that sort of stuff for Thanksgiving dinner. My parents don't usually cook at their place anymore, though. Instead, they have a butcher that they use for like big stuff because they don't have like a giant stove or anything or like a big kitchen. So they went and got the stuff from the butcher that they usually do. So we got all of the stuff done up there, had a nice dinner.
Does the butcher cook it as well for you?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
They do the butchering, the like cutting it up into portions and then cooking it as well. After cooking it. So yeah, that was all done for us. And we had a nice dinner, chatted a bit. And then the girlfriend and I went to go see Venom, actually.
I went and saw Venom on Friday.
Yeah. So let's just talk about Venom in a second. But
Sure.
Yeah, and they watched Mean Girls because my parents hadn't seen it and they didn't want to go see Venom, so we went. Okay. And today was pretty much just, I made lunch for us, pretty traditional Mexican lunch of taquitos and like Mexican street food style.
Did you make taquitos from scratch or were they like frozen taquitos?
No, like from scratch.
Oh, wow. Way to go. Nice.
Yeah. And corn, like Mexican street corn, basically. Okay. Yeah.
So you did your Thanksgiving dinner on Saturday night?
On Saturday night, yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Because we work Monday. So otherwise we would have done it tonight for sure. But
you don't get Monday off?
No, I don't get any holidays off.
Oh, because do most people get Monday off?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
The place where I work, just like we don't get Christmas off either. Like just doesn't happen.
Right. Yeah, we did. My Thanksgiving was a potluck style, so I provided a rotisserie chicken, which I actually picked up. Usually, I grab the rotisserie chickens from Costco.
Yeah.
But I was running a bit short on time, so I actually got one from Safeway, and it was super tasty. So yeah. I recommend the rotisserie Safeway chickens quite a bit.
Yeah, they're quite good. They're cheap too.
And then it was a bit more than Costco because Costco's was like $5, but Safeway's was like $7 or $8, so it's not that much different. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, super moist, super tasty. I was quite impressed. And what else did I provide? I took out some of my mom's banana bread that she always sends me that I had in the freezer, and also made some asparagus. And then people brought over mashed potatoes, focaccia bread, a couple cakes, and a couple pies. I think that was it. Yeah. Cool. So we did that, and then we just played Cards Against Humanity for a few hours.
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds like a good time.
Good time. I will say though, as we're transitioning to this Venom talk, your parents got the better deal.
Oh.
By choosing Mean Girls.
Dude. So fucking Venom, man. Holy shit. So
I think Venom is absolutely terrible.
Every time Venom is on screen, it's okay action, but that's the worst writing I've seen in a movie in a long time. Period.
Almost every character has just like there's like no you can't even call it an arc because they just decide to like completely change their motivations, including Venom. I thought the
Yeah.
Venom, the character of Venom, was also super lame and just like I don't understand like what your motivation is
Yeah.
anymore. Because I thought it was something, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh, you just don't care about that at all. Like,
Yeah.
God, that movie is so bad.
All that movie's problems is definitely in the writer's room. It's just poorly written. Everything about it is poorly written. Like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking after with somebody doing a spoiler cast on that. I think later tonight, just to
Okay.
I got to get my feelings out on there, like with specifics.
It's really bad. Which that
Yeah.
was a bummer. So the reviews were, I think they came out around like Monday-ish last week,
Uh huh.
and I from the trailers I was like, I think this movie is gonna be bad, and the
Sure.
reviews were coming out and it was like 30%. Like, okay, it is terrible.
Sure.
But even then, like, it still surprised me how bad it was, and I just like. I just want Sony to make a good Venom movie because
Yeah. Yeah.
Venom's
Yeah.
cool, and it's
Yeah.
like, they're gonna try again, of course, because they will sooner or later. But
They
it's gonna
need
be like
to.
another decade.
Yeah. They
Like I
need
have to wait
to.
another decade for a good Venom movie, and it's like, come on, man. Although I
Yeah.
bet if this one does good enough in the box office, they'll probably just make a sequel.
I
But
think it did pretty well in the box office too. I've heard some talk that it did very well. So
it's just so bad.
yeah.
It's such a bad movie. There's a new trailer for Enter the Spider-Verse that
Yeah.
was shown for me before. You got that as well?
Yeah.
That trailer is way better than the entire Venom movie.
I mean, Into the Spider-Verse is probably going to be one of the better Spider-Man things in a long time in general, because that's everything I want. It's going to be fun. That's
I
the
don't know.
fun
I
thing.
mean, I like all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man, so I don't know if I would say that.
Homecoming, I like.
I like Homecoming.
That's
I
all
like
there is so far.
Avengers.
Sure,
So
the parts he has in Avengers.
yeah. Anyway. And then spoilers for the second credit scene from Venom.
Sure. Yeah.
Been warned. It's a Spider-Verse scene, and that scene was better than the entire
It's so
Venom
good.
movie as well.
It's real good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a bummer. it's totally a bummer.
Venom sucks. Venom totally
Also,
sucks.
I've seen some people like say that it's pretty good. If you're one of these people that thinks it's pretty good and you say Daredevil was bad with Ben Affleck, you need to reevaluate your. It's just as
I'm
bad
really
as
curious
that.
because I have seen some people say they enjoy Venom,
Yeah.
and I'm really curious to kind of know like why and how.
Ben Affleck's
'Cause
Daredevil is closer to a good movie than Venom was, and that got
I don't know if I would say
so
that. I haven't seen that in quite a while. I will
is.
say in regards to Venom, Daredevil, the new trailer for season 3
Okay.
looks real cool.
Okay, I haven't seen
I wasn't
that.
like super interested because 2 was kind of a bummer. And The Defenders was even further of a bummer, and I've been slowly getting less and less interested in the Marvel Netflix shows.
Sure.
And season 3 of Daredevil has some real cool stuff. There's going to be like 2 Daredevils. Oh, it looks so cool.
Cool. All right.
So I'm looking forward to that.
You know what was
don't
pretty
go see
good?
Venom.
That isn't Venom was that Spider-Man game, which is what we talk about here on the top-down perspective.
Oh,
video
okay.
games.
Yeah, that's true. September 7th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
Um,
John is out
Yeah,
on
what-
assignment in Ireland.
John is apparently having a somewhat miserable time on his honeymoon, from what I've been reading on Twitter.
That's too bad.
Yeah. I still don't remember when he's coming back, but maybe next week. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. Why don't we talk about what I've been playing?
Let's do it.
I don't think I mentioned this last time. I finished Spider-Man and I loved the ending.
Okay, we
know I
did not
told you
discuss
that.
this. Yes.
Okay. I loved the ending. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I was planning on getting the platinum. And
Yeah.
then I realized I didn't have enough challenge tokens to buy every suit. And
Yeah.
the challenge tokens are the Taskmaster.
They're a pain in the ass, is what they are.
Yeah, the Taskmaster missions.
Yep.
So I was like, well, I guess I'm just not doing it. But then I sat down and I did all the challenge tokens better.
Oh, did you? Oh,
Yeah, I didn't
Wow.
think I was going to, but I looked at them and I was like, okay, maybe I actually can do better. And I really did not want to do those, but I did those, so I have enough challenge tokens. Now
Okay.
the only thing I'm missing are all the crimes,
oh, that's easy. There's so many.
and along with them, I'm missing one suit because I need like 20 crime tokens, but that'll just come hand in hand with doing the crimes. So
Sure.
it's literally just like I need to grind out these crimes. Which I
That'll
haven't
come
done
naturally.
yet because other games have been coming out. And
Yeah.
every time I think of like, hey, go finish Spider-Man, it's like, but I don't want to do what needs to be done in Spider-Man. So at some point, I'll go back and I'll finish that up.
I mean, I'm looking forward to the DLC for it. So like
Yeah,
that'll get me back in enough probably to wrap up a lot. So,
sure.
yeah.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I am looking forward to that. That game was very good.
Yes. Yes it is.
But yeah, let's talk about new stuff. What do I have written down here? Forza Horizon 4.
I've
Looks like you
also
played
been
it as
playing.
well.
Yes.
This came free on Game Pass, which is that is so delightful.
People need to look into that cuz I don't have an Xbox, I have a PC, and I was just like, "Oh, Forza Horizon 4, I want to play that for a few weeks, so I'll spend $10 and have unlimited access to that, I suppose."
Yeah, the
Totally
Game
fine.
Pass like is like wow.
Yep.
And I was just like, I'll get into Forza in a minute, but I was just talking to a friend who also has Game Pass,
Yeah.
and just the idea of like getting every first party Microsoft game on Game Pass, like those are going to be games I'm definitely going to play,
Sure.
if not by like day one. Like I'm
Sure.
of course I'm going to play the next Gears, of course I'm going to play the next Halo, of course I'm going to play the next Crackdown. The fact that I just know for like here going forward, I'm going to get those, basically for air quotes free. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
It
That is
is.
such a
Yeah.
good. That's amazing.
Agreed.
Forza Horizon 4 is really good.
It is very good. What a
Yeah,
beautiful game.
it
Wow.
looks so nice, and
Hmm.
I'm probably running it on like the worst possible way. That's not true. I'm running it on an Xbox One S with an HDR TV, so that'll look nice. I guess worse than that could be a regular Xbox One X,
Sure.
just on a non HDR TV. I guess that's the lowest you could probably go.
Probably. Uh,
Um,
I guess speaking from the PC side, if you don't mind me taking over for a second, I
sure.
think this is unlike Forza Horizon 3, which was garbage when it came out on PC because it was so badly optimized. This is very well optimized. It runs very well
Okay.
on all settings. It's the first game I've played that has started making me feel, oh, I'm gonna need a new card like soon because it's
Oh,
starting
graphics
to
card. Okay,
it's chugging now. Like
I see.
yeah, it's chugging. So
Sure.
but like I could turn it down a little bit. I was gonna stream it, but I think my computer will explode if I try to stream that at the quality I
You
have
got
it
to
set.
stream it on Mixer, dude. You got to get those influence points.
I honestly have been considering it.
Yeah,
That I
so for
want to
those who
see
don't
that.
know, there's a built-in feature if you stream Forza Horizon 4 using Mixer, which Microsoft owns,
Yeah,
you get bonus experience points. And if you watch streams of Forza Horizon 4 on Mixer, you also get bonus experience. So
amazing.
apparently there's just like a ton of streams online where someone is just like sitting at the like the main menu, not even
Oh
playing it, but just streaming
yeah,
and just getting points. And then lots of people are watching that because they want their points.
that's
Which I guess it's dumb, but I mean, it's not hurting anyone.
it's
Like
not hurting anybody.
more people are the number on Mixer that says this game is being watched is going up. So
Yeah,
obviously, Playground Games and Microsoft is happy, and Mixer's happy, and the players happy, and the people watching are happy. So it's a dumb thing,
yeah.
but like everyone's winning.
It's just kind of like against the spirit of it, but it's hilarious, so it's fine.
It's
That's
it's
so
a,
good.
it's a bit against the spirit, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, but you're still getting your
Yeah,
experience out of it and stuff. Like there's no downside really. It's silly.
totally.
But I have kind of thought to myself, like at work, I should just like open a stream, mute it, minimize it, and just leave it running all day. Because why not?
Yeah.
Um, but I actually don't even really need influence. I haven't gotten to a point in the game. I'm not super far into it, but I haven't gotten to a point in the game where it's like, man, if only I had a few thousand more influence, I'd be having a better time. So I don't really care too
Have
much.
you gone to Autumn?
Yeah, I'm almost
Yeah.
done the tutorial. So the tutorial
Okay.
takes you through all of the seasons,
Yeah. Okay.
and then kicks you out into like the actual rotation, which is one season a week.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm finishing up spring right now, which
Spring.
should be the last one
Mm-hmm.
because you start summer, I believe. Yeah. So I'm finishing up spring, and then I'll be into like the core game. But
Sure.
even then, that's still probably like close to like 4 hours of gameplay, I would say.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Uh,
About an hour each season, roughly.
I
Maybe a
felt
little
like the
less.
first few were a bit shorter.
Could
Um,
be, yeah.
but I don't know for sure. I was playing a lot of it co-op, and you can do any event co-op and stuff, so that was helpful.
Sure.
The always like online connected world thing is cool. Just having other people in the game, like someone will just kind of drive up to you and then like randomly decide to follow you while you're trying to go to an event, and that's just silly and fun.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
what's been a real treat is all the dumb unlocks you can get. Have you looked into any of like the car horns or the quick chat stuff?
I have not. No.
It's very good. So,
Okay.
um, I have the Bond pack.
Mm.
So you get some
Yeah.
Bond cars. You get a couple of tuxedos.
Okay.
You also get quick chat notifications. So for those who don't know, quick chat is on the D-pad. You can, with a couple button presses, say something. You can assign each direction a different like little thing. So right now, some that are you just get automatically. I have like I need a healer because that's dumb. I
Yeah, that's
also
pretty
have
good.
one that is just train. I don't know why that's in there, but I have the
That's
word
all it
train.
is. Okay.
Yep. And then from the Bond pack, I have um, for England James.
Great.
And then here I'm gonna make it even better for you. License to skill.
Oh my god. Terrible.
Now just to like fully demonstrate how dumb some of these unlocks are. For the car horns, you can unlock the Halo theme played with a car horn.
Oh my god.
Let me do one further. This is the
Okay.
pinnacle.
Okay.
For a car horn, you can get the Windows, I believe it's 10 shutdown noise.
I
Just the actual sound, not as a car horn, just the shutdown noise.
I'm trying to remember what it is currently, but that's silly.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it because I didn't have it unlocked. I just saw that on there, but
Wow.
that's kind of great. I like that they went just so dumb with this stuff.
Yeah.
And there's also emotes. You get like silly different emotes you can get when like win a race or whatever. Flossing is in there, of course.
Of
I
course.
think I have Karate Master. My person does like a high jump kick or something in like a crane pose or whatever. So it seems like a as much as Forza Horizon has already been this like fun, lighthearted game, it's like they went even further with it, and I really appreciate that.
Yeah, totally.
So where are you in it? How much have you been playing?
I'm about 3 hours in, probably.
Are you in winter?
Yeah, in winter.
I feel like that the whole map, like it almost looks completely different, like a whole new area during winter.
Yeah. Yep. That I really enjoy it actually quite a bit. Um like I was going to the crew 2 for a while every time they had an open beta for my driving game, but like this is easily going to be that for sure. Especially because it's basically free for $10 or whatever a month.
Right.
Like yeah, it's so good. I highly recommend people check it out for sure.
Yeah, like the seasons they do actually have a pretty big impact. Like there's like and it's almost just because of like how slippery things get when it's
Yeah.
not summer. Autumn is really muddy, and
Yeah,
then winter is obviously very slippery, and you can like feel the difference
totally. Yep.
when you're moving from like from like the dirt path to like a pavement path, and you're probably not getting this. Like, what controller are you using?
PS3 and
Yeah,
analog
so you're
3.
probably not getting this entirely, but the Xbox One controller, with its rumble and then with its rumble triggers, like there is a tactile feeling to these roads that you are driving along, and the differences when you are switching between the different kinds of roads.
I mean, I
That
get
is
Rumble, so it's
right,
probably
but you
not
don't
as
get you
good.
also don't get the rumble triggers,
Hmm.
which I feel like the Forza games are the only games that really do use those ever.
Sure.
But like I don't know what it is. Maybe I don't know. This is HD Rumble. Nintendo's got nothing on this. I don't know. This is 4K Rumble, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, HD
Yeah,
Rumble.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good game. I'm having so much fun with it.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then so that was Forza Horizon 4. Apart from that, I've been playing some Overcooked 2.
Okay.
Because it got new DLC this week.
Oh, okay. What did it add?
Yeah, it added a surf and turf pack,
Okay,
which
so new
is
recipes.
new recipes, new chefs,
Okay.
um, new stages.
Sure. Okay.
It's like a whole like little like you don't go to the main game. You access it from a different menu. So just like the Christmas pack or the island pack from the first game.
Right.
This is $6 American. So I was like, yeah, and it's like at least 12 stages. I think it's more, but it was advertising 12 stages, but I do think there's more. Um, I'll start off. The bad thing is they went back to the difficulty from Overcooked 1. You
Okay.
like need to be getting 3 stars on everything, which is insane.
Right.
And and even within the main game, because the main game I think I got 3 stars on almost everything. Like those are coming pretty nicely. This one is just difficult and hard again, which was I complained about that in Overcooked 1. This is supposed to be a lighthearted party game. I don't
Sure.
want to have any kind of stress. I just want to goof around. And they fixed that in Overcooked 2. And then for some reason they reintroduced this like high skill bar for
Yeah.
this DLC, which is weird. So like I didn't even get to the last levels yet because my friend and I who are playing online against with each other, we have to just keep repeating stages and trying to like and it's gotten to the point where it's like if any of us like screw up even a little bit, where it's like we got to restart
Restart.
because we're not going to be able to get
Yeah.
enough stars to progress, and that's such a bummer.
I do know that there have been some people online complaining that it was too easy before, and this feels like maybe they swung too hard in the opposite direction to appease that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Overcooked 2, it was definitely a lot easier,
Mm-hmm.
but I was never complaining that I was going through it too easily because like
Mm-hmm.
I was having as much fun as I wanted to have. Like I don't know. I guess maybe some people are going to it for a challenge, but I have never been that kind of person.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But there, like I said, there's some good new characters. There's like a Native American. Everything's island themed, so
Okay.
you get that main dude with the goofy smile. You can unlock him with sunglasses and like a
Okay.
stern face. That's pretty good. The Onion King is wearing board shorts the whole time, which is
Yep.
pretty nice. It's a funny little. It's like a story. It takes place after um, Overcooked 2. So he's been exiled because no one was really happy with the fact that he raised the unbred. Um,
Right.
so he's on an extended vacation, as he's putting it. Kevin's there. Kevin's rocking shades. That's awesome. Kevin's a great dog.
The good
And the
boy.
first recipe you get is smoothies, which is fun. You gotta like you gotta blend stuff. So yeah, it's more overcooked. I just wish it was easier. I'm gonna keep playing through it, but that was a bit of a kind of took the wind out of my sails a bit.
Sure.
And then yeah, apart from that, you wanted to talk about the messenger a bit because I think I got to the twist.
Yeah, you probably did.
Okay,
Did
and
the
you
gameplay
wanted to
style change?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, you got to the twist. That's what it was.
Okay,
Yeah.
that I don't think the twist really like
It's not a huge twist.
it wasn't a huge twist.
Yeah.
I don't think so because I even had to ask you like, did I get to the twist? Was that the twist?
So, I mean, should we just say it like with a warning that if you really don't want to know, maybe don't listen for 2 seconds?
Yeah, maybe skip ahead like 5 minutes or so.
Okay. So, you have been warned. The messenger turns from a Ninja Gaiden style game to a Metroidvania. That's what it
Yeah,
is. That's the twist.
basic. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. And it happens after. So I was in the time temple, and then you go to like hell,
Yeah,
and
so
then
in
you
the
go to
time
like
temple, they are like, "Wait, you didn't even like look at what you were delivering?" Oh, well, it's a map, and you're
no,
like,
no,
"You
no,
got
no,
the
no, no,
map."
no, no. That's way later. Like I said, after the time temple, you go
You go to hell first
to
and then
go to
back?
hell first,
Okay.
and then there's also a sky area, which actually maybe it's the sky area and then hell. There's like two other areas after the time temple, then the twist.
Mm, yeah. It's not that long though. Like until you get to it from where you had originally said you were anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what
Yeah,
it is.
I
It
don't.
turns
I
into
guess
Metroidvania.
I feel like the twist was, for me at least, it got overhyped, and maybe I just did
That's
that to
possible.
myself because I was trying to avoid it so much. Um,
that's probably fair.
and I think Vinny from the Giant Bomb said it the best. I think the real twist is just how surprisingly good that shopkeeper is.
Every time you talk to the shopkeeper, it's great. Every
It
time.
every time I re-enter his shop and he doesn't want to chat,
It's a bummer.
I am bummed.
Yep.
But every time he wants to talk, it's so good. There's a great little part where you get a new hat,
Yep.
and he's like, and then you come back, and then
Yep.
he's wearing the hat, and the ninja's like, "Oh, so now you're wearing it?" And he's like, "What are you talking about? I had this first."
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, well, "Are you serious?" And he's like, "Hey, man, if you want to like say you had it first, like, okay, you do you, but that's kind of weird." Like, oh,
It's really good.
it is absolutely. There's another one. You're in the time temple, and the shopkeeper reveals like, "Oh yeah, this is where it actually is in space and time."
Uh-huh.
And it's like, okay. And then you go to it again from a different part of the time temple, and he's like, "Whoa, I'm back in the same room." And the shopkeeper's like, "So wait, that's what confused you? You could believe that you could access this time chamber from any time and anywhere in your quest, but the fact that you got here from two different doors in the same building, that's what's throwing you off?"
It's pretty good.
He is so good. It is insane how well written he is. I love him so much.
Yeah. Um I think it's kind of important to talk about the messenger in this part now because I feel like after the twist is where that game for me started to fall off a little bit because I don't think that world is very conducive to Metroidvania type exploration.
I haven't played much of it since
Fair.
the twist happened, because it kind of opened up a lot, and I was just like, "Whoa, okay."
Yeah.
And then I just haven't played it. I have definitely heard there's been like a big kind of split online of people who prefer pre and post
Sure.
twist.
This is a
Um,
conversation I'd like to have with John available as well too.
sure,
For
yeah,
sure.
and I don't want to talk too much about the spoilers anymore. I don't remember when we started talking anyway. Um,
Totally.
but I think at the moment, again, I haven't done too much post twist. I definitely was enjoying pre twist quite a bit, so
Yeah.
I think I might be on the pre twist with you, but I need to spend more time to fully make that.
Sure.
Anyway, that's all I've been playing. What have you been playing else?
So Forza Horizon 4. I guess just housekeeping stuff for me. I've been playing Monster Hunter World again on PC because they finally started releasing stuff. So if you got that on PC and you were like, well, I don't know what to do now, they finally started like throwing events out there for the autumn festival and Halloween stuff. So you can go out there and hunt your monsters and get your weird pumpkin suit thing and all that sort of stuff. So that's a thing now. The big one for me was Mega Man 11. So I finally picked this up on Friday as a thing to play while I was like on the road or whatever. And
Sure.
it's really good. Like it's hard to
Great.
it's
It's everything
hard
you wanted?
yeah, it's hard to describe it if you're not like a Mega Man fan, but it's like an old one of those brought into the modern age with some twists that make it feel more modernized. Like it starts off with all the bullshit from a Mega Man game where it kind of feels janky in some spots and spikes will kill you automatically and blah blah blah. But then as you're going through it, there's like an in-game shop that you spend like the little nuts and bolts and stuff that you find in the levels to like buy upgrades for Mega Man. So like one of them is spike shoes. So like you can hold three of them at a time and instead of killing you outright when you step on spikes, if you have one of those in your inventory, it'll just eat that up and you'll take a bunch of damage instead. Uh there's stuff to increase the amount of drops that happen. So if you're just find like I need to like these enemies to start dropping more of like this thing that recharges my weaponry stuff because I'm using that a lot. You can like set it so they'll drop more of those or more health things or not at all if you don't want any of that stuff. You can have a shield that'll increase the amount of damage you can take per level, but then when you die it's gone. So yeah, there's like things in there to kind of help you along if you don't like the bullshit stuff that Mega Man does sometimes. One of them's like literally just you recoil less when you get hit so it doesn't like throw you off ledges as easily. Just all that sort of stuff people complained about in the old games. There's like an in-game answer to those, or you could just not worry about any of that shit and just play and still a finely tuned Mega Man game with good platforming, good levels, and asshole enemy designs and all that sort of stuff.
How do you like the art style change?
I like the art style change. I think it's appropriate for it being a new Mega Man and that they didn't
Okay.
just do a pixel style again. So yeah, I think it's a nice upgrade. Uh, it's still asshole-ish in the way a Mega Man game probably should be, where the bosses usually have a like heated up form now, where you do damage enough to them, and then they're just like kicking into overdrive, and they start like either attacking faster or moving around more, or one of them literally gets bigger, like turns into this like huge hulking thing you have to take down before you can take down the boss again. Just it feels like a good modernized version of a Mega Man game, especially with the addition of the dual gears where you can kick yourself into like a high gear to either do more damage with your attacks, and that'll include like you have different robot master weapons that you get that'll increase their attacks in some way that's like either super obvious or not very obvious at all until you see how much more damage it does. Or you can slow down time so you can like get past a really rough section if you need the extra help, or you can kind of freeze an enemy down before it moves out of your way and just like blast it a whole bunch before it gets out of your grasp. It's real cool. It's a really, really cool game. Yeah, I highly, highly recommend it, especially if you're an old style Mega Man fan. This is definitely made for us crazy people that like the old games and wanted a new version of that. So yeah, Mega Man 11 out on Switch is where I'm playing it, but it's also out on everything else as well.
All right. Is that all you played then?
That's it.
All right, I got one last thing to say about Forza.
Okay.
I want to ask, what did you make your license plate read?
Horizon. I changed the H to a B.
Okay. I was able to get mine to say hentai.
That's pretty good. Holy shit.
It took a while to figure out the correct like letter combinations to get past its like security features.
Oh, did you do like an H3?
I tried. They wouldn't go for the numbers either. I even tried hent tie, like 2 words. No, they figured that one out. They didn't, however, figure out hentai with 2 T's.
Okay.
So
perfect.
That's what my license says, and I thought that was pretty funny.
That's pretty good.
Let's do some news.
Yep.
Let's continue with what's going on with Telltale.
Oh fuck. Okay.
A few kind of things happened this week.
Yeah.
I don't remember this is chronologically. Telltale came out and said, "Hey, we're still trying to get The Walking Dead to be finished."
Yeah.
They laid off the skeleton crew that they had remaining, so I'm not sure if if that work had been finished or not. But someone just kind of came out and said, we got let go as well, also without severance, same kind of deal.
Rest are gone. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And then kind of the biggest news is that Skybound Games came out and said that they will finish The Walking Dead. And Skybound is the comic publisher that puts out the Walking Dead comic book.
Yeah.
I don't know of any actual games they've done. I'm going to do a quick Googs.
Yeah, I'm quickly looking them up myself here. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Skybound Games. Did they publish the Slime Rancher and the Long Dark?
Okay, if that's the case, then they're probably giving money to Telltale just to finish this up with whatever they can.
Well, from what I understand, this is not Telltale.
Okay.
This will be a separate company. There's not a ton of news out, but the news that is out says they're going to try and rehire people from Telltale.
Cool.
I'm assuming it'll be a lot smaller people. It'll just be like core people that they need to finish episodes 3 and 4. That's another thing. Apparently this season is only 4 episodes long, which sounds like it's the shortest Walking Dead season. That was news to me. Though I guess it's the shortest Telltale season because they're usually always like 5.
Yeah.
I think Minecraft was even 6 with its first season. Anyway, so 3 and 4, they want to get that done. They want to rehire some of the staff, which I'm kind of of 2 minds. Hey, if you need the paycheck, go for it. But maybe also give 2 middle fingers to these people for what they did to you. It is a separate company, but who knows?
It's hard.
I'm sure there's a bunch of things in the background, and I get it. A job's a job. If you need a paycheck, get that money.
And not only that, but like for a lot of these people, this is like a thing they love, right? Like they put a lot of time in the first episode. Like in a way, they kind of want to finish it, but yeah, no, I totally get if they're like, "Yo, fuck you." Like I totally get that for sure.
Or if they already got another job, you know what I mean?
Totally. Mm-hmm. We'll have to
Okay, I'm
see how
gonna
it
look at
pans out.
Skybound Entertainment.
I wonder if maybe they're gonna try to do more stuff, or if this is a one-time thing Skybound is doing. Hmm. Yeah,
I'm
because
having a hard time finding out which games they've actually done. So I don't know if the two I said earlier are true or not.
yeah, well, it sounds like they probably are a publisher, which means that they're probably funding some skeleton crew of some sort.
Oh, okay, here we go. It actually says on their Wikipedia account. In
Okay.
April 2018, Skybound announced the formation of Skybound Games,
Okay.
a publishing division focused on indie games. Coinciding with the announcement, the company also signed publishing deals for console versions of the games Slime Rancher and The Long Dark.
Okay.
And then the next thing they have done is The Walking Dead season, the final season.
Right. Okay. So the way they worded the tweet or whatever was they're happy to announce they've reached a deal with Telltale. I'm guessing maybe they bought out the IP or the rights to that last game or something, and they're
Yeah,
just
so
going to
from
do it
what I
in-house.
understand, the paycheck going to whoever's working this will say Skybound. It will not say Telltale.
Right.
They're not helping Telltale finish this game. They
Right.
are taking it and finishing it. Um, which I guess
Yeah.
is good for them. It's because it's their IP
Sure. I mean, best case
theoretically.
scenario is Skybound gives a big check to Telltale. Telltale uses that check to pay severance to their employees, and then fucks off
I don't think
forever.
that's gonna happen. I think
Totally. No, it
Skybound
won't.
is going to rehire a few people for a month or two. I don't know how many people they'll need, but it's definitely not going to be 200.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, pay those people for the work they've done, and they do nothing else with Telltale. I bet like the negotiation with Telltale is done. I'm
Totally.
wondering, will Telltale's name even be at the beginning of this game? When you load up episode
I
3,
think
will
it
it
would
even
be
have the
silly
Telltale
if
logo?
it was, personally.
I don't see why they would have that logo there
Totally.
if they are
I'm
no
with you.
longer a part of this.
Totally.
That's weird. I
Yep.
guess for fans, this is probably the best scenario that could have happened after all of the
Without a doubt.
layoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I don't
so
know.
I guess
It's
that's kind of a silver
bittersweet.
lining. Yeah, it's weird.
Yep. It is.
And again, it brings in the whole thing of like, do you want to give? I guess now you could probably feel better about giving money to this game because it's not going to Telltale. Because at the end of the
Sure.
day, do you want to, vote with your dollars and by giving Telltale these awful managers money? Anyway, moving on to some dumber news. There might be a Mega Man movie, a
Yeah.
live action Mega Man movie,
Yep. That's a thing.
written and directed by Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman. I don't know who these people are.
Oh, okay. What did Schulman do? I recognize that name.
Okay, because I'm looking up Joost.
Yeah, no, I recognize Ariel Schulman.
Okay.
I can't remember what the hell he did, though. Ugh. Let's look him up here.
Henry Joost has directed
Yeah.
a couple paranormal activity movies.
Yeah. Same with Schulman.
He also did that movie Nerve.
Yep. Same. I guess they work together
They
because
must be
this is the
like a
same.
partnership.
Mhm.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman are a directing team, producers, best buds, founders of the New York City production company Super Marsh. Super Marche? Marsh? E with the thing.
Yeah,
on it.
I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I guess their biggest movies have been these paranormal activity movies, and now they're doing Mega Man.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
okay, well, yeah, that's basically where I'm at. Sure, I'll believe it when I see it. Although Sonic's happening,
Yep.
Sonic got a lot further than I ever expected it to.
Yep.
Both
Sure
the
did.
games and the movie.
Specifically the movie. That the game is still going is kind of amazing to you after some of the things they had.
All right, last bit of news. Probably the biggest news.
Yeah.
It seems like there's some pretty decent rumors that there will be a new Nintendo Switch model next year.
Uh-huh.
I think that makes sense. That'll be
That seems about right.
2
According to
years
plan.
after the Switch
Yep.
release. The Switch was last, yeah, so it'll be 2 years. It won't be like there's very little info, but it's probably going to be similar to like the DS Lite versus the DS,
Sure.
where it's going to play the exact same games. It's just going to be kind of like a better system. Um,
Hmm.
the one kind of little bit of thing is, let's see, new Switch model info comes from suppliers and others with direct knowledge of the plan, may include improved display, and could come as soon as 2019. That's that's basically kind of all the news that we do have. Um, so I ask you, what's on your dream list for an updated Switch?
For an updated Switch, I want to be able to plug into my Switch from the top and not the bottom. If
Which
I
plug?
plug directly in to the AC like cord, because this is specifically because I brought my Switch this weekend at my parents' house, and it was dying. And I was like, well, I don't want to like lose where I am in this level in Mega Man, so I'm gonna plug in, and it's like plugged in to the bottom of the Switch because I'm playing it in handheld mode, where it felt awkward for me to hold appropriately on the couch.
I'm almost kind of the opposite with you, because right now the headphone jack is on the top,
Mm-hmm.
and I would prefer that to be on the bottom, because it kind of gets in front of the screen unless I wrap it like
But see,
around,
that's
like
fine
underneath it.
because the headphones are on you. This was going to the wall, which is why it was so
Well,
weird and
no, because when I
cumbersome for me.
looked when I looked down at the Switch and then my headphones go down, it has to like go in front of the screen unless I go underneath and like behind it and then to the top. Whereas if the headphone jack was at the bottom, I don't need that extra space to get to wrap around the Switch.
Right. That makes sense to me, though, is like having the headphone jack on the bottom, but I still want the
Oh,
AC
okay.
adapter at the top.
Okay. I guess I haven't been in that scenario where I've been playing it plugged in at the same time. So,
Especially because, like, if you
sure.
use it in docking mode, like, not docking mode, sorry, if you, like, use the little kick flip switch thing
I don't
to,
know why
like,
you would do that, but I do understand what you're
and
saying.
plug it in, yeah, then, like, you can't plug it in. So, whatever.
Okay. I think what this one needs Bluetooth. Like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
of
come
course.
on,
Yeah,
what are
yeah,
you
yeah.
doing? How does this not have Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Um, how about a better online service?
I mean, yeah, they could implement that at
Uh,
any time. But yeah,
yeah, that's not Switch specific. Obviously, that's so that was just a joke.
sure.
Better display, sure, that'd be great. Obviously, if it ran better in handheld, also great.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I guess the big one that I like, the one thing I'm constantly like, man, I wish it had is Bluetooth for like
Yeah,
my headphones,
totally.
because I don't carry a lot of, specifically because since as I have an iPhone,
Yeah.
I don't carry a lot of wired headphones anymore because there's no reason for me to carry, because it doesn't have a headphone jack.
Yeah, neither does my phone.
So I use Bluetooth headphones,
Me too.
but when I go on the train, I have to switch to wired headphones for the Switch, and it's just annoying to do that.
Totally.
That's kind of my big one. I'm fine with its weight and stuff,
Yep. Me
so
too.
I'm cool with that. Um, and then I guess everything else would be kind of software, like software stuff, like cloud saves, better transferring of like uh saves onto different platforms and stuff like that. That's all software. So like, hardware, a better kickstand, I guess. I
Better
rarely use that
kickstand.
thing, but
Yeah.
the kickstand does suck.
Yeah, better
Um,
kickstand. More onboard memory just to begin with would be really nice, even though I'll still buy a card because it's not
Yeah,
enough.
that's why, since I'm gonna have the card anyway, I do not care about the onboard memory. I guess it would just kind of make the platform itself like an easier buy when you're buying it for the first time.
What about multiple
Uh,
SKUs even? Like basically like what the Xbox did with an arcade version where it had like no memory on it because you would buy a hard drive.
I don't think that's needed, because this thing takes standard SD cards. Those things are cheap enough. If it
Yeah,
was a
that's
weird
true.
proprietary thing like Sony,
Like Sony
then
stuff.
then
Yeah.
maybe I would buy a more expensive one, because I'm gonna buy its weird expensive uh hard memory cards. But this
Mm.
one I can get cheap SD cards, and I have a really big one that is
Yeah.
going to last me.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and I usually don't buy these like kind of hardware revisions, but I use my Switch so much. I'm actually thinking like, yeah, I'll get a new one. Like,
Yep.
I'll sell this to a friend and then get a new one. Like, I use my Switch a lot. I would love to have like the best kind of Switch going on right now.
Sure. Agreed.
Uh, but yeah, so maybe that happens. Who knows?
Yeah.
Seems likely though. following Nintendo's trend. Why don't we do a few questions and then I'm going to bed.
All right, cool.
If people want to send questions in, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. This first one comes from Justney20. As kind of a follow-up to the TDP Plus episode, do you think City Escape is the reason why Sonic Adventure 2 is so remembered today?
Yep. Because even as somebody who hadn't played Sonic Adventure 2 until we had to do our thing there, that's the thing I remember from it. So yes.
Yeah, if anyone not sure, we did a TDP Plus episode on our Patreon for the game Sonic Adventure 2. You can hear our specific thoughts on that, but for obvious reasons, we won't get into those specific thoughts here.
Sure.
Sonic Adventure 2, I think so as well, because I had played that game a long time ago, forgotten everything except
that
City Escape.
Yep.
It also has that song,
yep.
which is it's a catchy song if you despite if you like it or not. But also it's like the first stage. Yeah. So the first stage is usually pretty memorable.
Yeah,
agreed. You're probably gonna play it like the most. So
totally. Quill J1 wrote in and said, "Do any of you guys play any tabletop RPGs? I know John had experience with Dungeons and Dragons through Stephen Plays, but not sure about Paul or Sean. Sean, have you done any tabletop RPGs?"
Not stuff similar to Dungeons and Dragons. I do play a lot of board games though, which would have elements of this stuff.
For sure.
But I'm gonna say technically no.
Yeah.
And you play a ton.
Yeah. I've done a few years of D&D 4th edition. We're currently doing a giant thing for 5th edition, but I've done a bunch of one-shots as a DM, more as a player. I've done Call of Cthulhu as a DM. I've done Apocalypse World as a player. I've done Masks, which is uses the Apocalypse engine to do kind of like a Teen Titans, Teen Hero sort of game as a DM. That kind of fizzled out right away. Tried that out. Yeah, I do a lot of tabletop. So yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, by the way, we didn't take all the questions this week because we wanted this episode to be a bit shorter, so we will push any questions we have skipped that we want to answer to next week. Just a heads up. Kimberly wrote in, "I know there are companies like Loot Crate who will make subscription boxes filled with nerdy goods, but they also have themed ones that focus on a specific franchise. My question is, if you had to make a sort of subscription box based on your favorite game / franchise, what would it be? You can be as creative as you want."
Okay. Based on my favorite franchise, guess what's my favorite franchise? Probably like the Resident Evil series.
See, I don't know. I don't know if I would do one specific. Like, if I was going to do one, I would want it to be varied so that I get different stuff. Because as much as I like, even if I said like, I don't know, Viva Pinata came to mind. It's not my favorite, but that would be kind of cool getting some Viva Pinata stuff.
Yeah.
After a couple months of that, I'm not going to need any more Horstachio figures on my desk.
Yeah. So
I'm probably going to get like a few of each one, and then I'm going to be like, "This is good. Please stop." The nice thing about having like a spread out one, or one that's like just sci-fi or something like that, is I'm going to get completely different stuff. But then I guess you run the risk of getting stuff you don't like.
Yeah.
But I guess you could give it to like a friend, and that's a cool way to give like a cool gift to someone.
Yeah. As somebody who got Loot Crate every month for a couple years when they started, I have so much shit I'm going to just throw out from it. It's all fucking garbage. And like, some of it is really cool. Like, I don't know, this thing's kind of neat. It's like a little, I don't know, alien. Like, I like certain things from it, but for every like one thing I like, I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's like shelves with DVDs and just shit, just absolute shit.
I mean, that's the kind of thing of like, when you get those blind boxes at conventions, those things are always a terrible deal. And they'll be like, "Hey, it's $50 worth of stuff that you're getting for $25." And it's like, yeah, but I don't want any of that stuff.
Totally.
For the most part, I feel like this is why I don't subscribe to them, is if there's something I want, if someone probably sells it by itself.
They do.
And I'll spend less money buying it there. Even if it costs more than like 2 months of the subscription, it's gonna probably take me like 4 months to maybe get that thing if I ever do. You know what I mean?
Sure. So the best way to go for those is anything you can eat, like candy boxes or food boxes, where they give you the ingredients to make your like dinners or whatever meals.
Oh,
Uh,
like a Blue Apron or
like
something
a
like
Blue
that.
Apron or something
Okay.
else that we're not sponsored by, so we don't care if you go and buy them. But
Uh, yeah,
so
that's a good idea. Something that you know, no matter what, you can kind of use it.
with that in mind, I will say Monster Hunter themed, like Blue Apron type thing, where the delicious food that you can buy at the canteen to make your Monster Hunter all buffed up, like that stuff just looks like it would be real good to cook and eat. Or any game, like any game where you think, oh, that food looks like delicious or
So you
cool.
want like a food subscription one, but you want them to tell you this chicken is actually like dragon meat.
No, no, it's like actual chicken and beef and stuff in the game, but like the way it's cooked and arranged,
Oh,
it
okay.
just looks absolutely
I feel
delicious.
like you can get subscription. You could get something like that. Like it's
Yeah,
not going to be
it's
Monster Hunter
probably
themed,
like
but
Blue Apron.
yeah, it's. I'm sure they're going to send you how to make a good looking chicken for sure.
Mm,
Yeah. Um,
totally.
I'm also the kind of person I don't really buy figurines too much. I have a
Sure.
weird number of them on my desk, but that's just because sometimes amiibos are $1 and KK Slider's cool, or
Yep.
Disney Infinity is going out of business. So you buy a Hawkeye for 30 cents. Um,
Sure.
but other than that, though, like yeah, I'm not like a figurine person. I'm not like a getting lots of like collectible kind of stuff. So it's just never kind of been my thing.
I used to be, and I'm less and less, and I every day that I'm less and less like that, I look around and just think, what was I thinking with this
I just
shit?
don't have this. I don't have the space for it.
That's me too,
Like
for
there's
sure.
so many times where it's like, man, I wish I had like another shelf and I could put like all my movies on that shelf or something and have like a movie shelf. And it's like, where on earth would I put another shelf?
Or
Like
like
there's
my
literally like
I
I
wish I
have
had like
no
a
place for a
house
shelf.
with another room or something. Like
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Boko wrote in and said, "Is TDP Plus a thinly veiled attempt to finally get Sean to replay video games? Is it that thinly veiled? I thought it was pretty obvious.
I
That's why it's there."
see, I disagree with this. I disagree with this. Because if it was an attempt to get me to replay games, I would be submitting games I've already played, which I've never done.
Yeah, it's true.
Um, if anything, it's a thinly veiled attempt to get you guys to buy me games I'm interested in.
That's not, it's
Um,
not even that thinly veiled.
yeah,
Again,
like if
yeah,
that's I mean that's kind of the whole point is like, help us get access to more games so we can make more content for you guys.
yeah,
Because all these games that we do play and stuff, they cost money and the Patreon helps.
yeah.
It helps with that exactly. It
I
helps with
mean,
that exact.
it's honestly mainly because I don't know if people have noticed me, Sean, and John, besides like obvious stuff that comes out, have very different tastes when it comes to a lot of stuff. And this is just a way to ensure that we all have a game that we are going to play, whether or not one of us like wanted to ever play it or not.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a book club.
Yeah.
Um, which is cool. That's those are fun as well. So we get to kind of all connect on one game,
Yep.
which happens rarely. Like we get two people pretty commonly if a big game comes out, but it's rare that we get all three of us playing one. So that part's fun too.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think at all it is one to get me to replay games because I don't unless you're looking at it, is it an attempt for the viewers to try and get me to replay games? Because the only time games have come up that I have played before, a viewer requested it.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, all I can say is stop doing that. I want to play new games. But again, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, stop giving me money,
To play a
stop
game.
giving me money and making me play these games I've already played. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like complaining. I love it. I love
And,
TDP Plus.
and for the low price of $10 a month, you could be in the running to make Sean play something.
Yeah, to make me play in a game for sure. Um, Last question here. VGC Kenny says another spoiler question.
Okay.
Um, one of the reasons my friends and I talk about our differences in how we take spoilers is that sometimes I ask for spoilers and they deny me. I know there are exceptions, but if someone asks for a spoiler, should you give it to them?
Sure. Why not? They're an adult. Assuming they're an adult, I guess they can make their own decisions.
Yeah, I feel like the only time I would say no is if it's a property, it's some kind of it's a game or it's a movie that I'm like really into And I'm just like, I don't want to ruin it for you because I don't want to be the one that's going to ruin this media for you. I would love for you to watch this movie and be amazed. And if you're not going to do that and you're asking for the spoiler, you go somewhere else because I'm not going to be the person to do that. You
Okay.
ask somebody else. And most of the time, they're not going to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because they clearly do not care enough to Google it.
Sure.
Um,
I will absolutely tell you. If you're like, I don't care about spoilers, I will tell you exactly the thing I loved about a thing. So,
yeah, it depends how much I want to talk about it with someone who's clearly not interested in playing it enough to play it.
uh-huh.
Um, but there's definitely been times where it's like, I'm not going to do that to you. I would not be happy with myself if I knew that I ruined
Sure.
how good the Fast and Furious is. You need to watch all 8 in the
Fast and
proper order.
Furious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair enough.
All right, that's going to do it for questions. If you want to send questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com. 8 at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Facebook group, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Mega Man 11.
Mine is Forza Horizon 4, and that's going to do it for the show. Again, maybe John will be here next week. Maybe he won't. You probably know better than I do because you read his Twitter more than I do. But yeah, that'll do it, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.